All right, I want to talk about cutting your feathers. So we have the paper that we've created, but I also have tons of other paper that you can go ahead and use. Anything in our scrap bins can be used for your birds. But let's talk about some of the shapes that you might want to consider for your actual bird sculpture. A lot of times when we are creating our feathers, you're going to need your sculpture nearby so that you can kind of gauge how big you need each feather to be. Now you can create individual feathers, so that's what I have here. I have a piece of paper, and what I'm doing is folding it in half just so I can get two at one time. You don't have to fold it in half, you can do each individual. Here I have two feathers that I'll be able to use. And I actually even have some scraps, and I'm going to keep these scraps because I think I'm going to need tiny, tiny little feathers around the head and the face. Another thing that I want you to understand or consider, and I'll use this piece of paper to explain this. If you want two, actually I'll use this one. If you want two pieces that are exactly the same, like the wings, so I'm going to use this one because it has a front and a back, just like your painted paper does. You're going to have to fold it in half. You can draw your shape that you are hoping to have, and then cut it out, and that shape is right in the center. And what that allows for is to have two identical pieces that can go on either side of your bird. So that's going to be a really good thing for when you're adding your wings. You might want to make a full wing like this. So individual feathers, cutting it in half, this kind of has the feathery look down here at the end. And then I want to talk to you about adding feathers in mass quantity, I guess we'll call that. So what I did here is I'm going to take a very small sliver right now, and I took my scissors and just cut a little bit up, and I'm leaving I'm leaving the top completely together, and I'll show you why this is an advantage. So what I have is these little pieces I can just pull out. I'm creating this look. Now I'm going to be able to take my piece of paper, put it on top of my sculpture easily with a line of glue right along the top, and I have all of these feathers instead of gluing down individuals. Now some spots you're going to want to do that individual gluing, but some spots you'll be able to do this more mass quantity. Now on my sculpture I have some tail feathers here that I want to explain real quickly as well. So if you want some feathers that are actually standing up, and I think this is a really good thing to have on our sculptures, we want these to be as three-dimensional as possible. Make your feather shape, and then especially with construction paper, I know this works well. I'm not sure on the painted paper, but you can give it a try. I'm going to take a pen or a pencil and just kind of bring it around the back. So I have my finger on top and I'm bringing it across like this, and it gives it that kind of curved look. So that could be pretty awesome on the head. Maybe it has some big feathers on the head, or like I used on the tail here. So lots of different ways that you can create your feathers for your bird sculpture.